welcome back to Vidyanagar Online Science class. I'm here with you to continue our fourth chapter, Heat. At the end of today's class, you are going to learn conduction, convection, radiation, sea breeze, land breeze, etc. Let's move on to our today's class. Okay. And in today's class, we are mainly going to discuss about transfer of heat in solid, liquid and gas. How the heat is transferring through the solid, liquid and gas. Right. So under this heading, our first point of discussion is the process conduction. That means right now we are going to discuss about the process conduction. What is conduction? In order to give a correct picture about the conduction, I have a plan in my mind. I'm going to demonstrate an activity. For this activity, I have to use two things like a candle and a steel scale. Which are the materials I need to show this activity? A candle and a steel scale. So what is in my hand now? A candle in my hand. And what is this? This is a steel scale. This is a steel scale. Okay, now I have a plan in my mind, right? I'm going to show the scale on this flame, right? And now I'm going to heat this steel scale. Now you tell me, what is the condition of this steel scale now? This is cold. Which is cold? Steel scale is cold and the flame is hot. So when I show the scale on this flame, what happens you see here? The heat from the flame transferred to the cold scale. The heat from the flame transferred to the cold flame. That process is known as conduction. Then I have to define then conduction. Conduction is the process in which the heat is transferring from a hot end to cold end. This is a process named conduction. Now what is this process? Conduction. Why? Because flame is a hot end and steel scale is a cold end and the heat is transferring from the flame to steel. Because the heat transfer from the hot end to cold end. That process is known as conduction. What is conduction? Conduction is the process in which heat is transferring from which end to which end? Heat is transferring from hot end to cold end. Conduction is a process in which heat is transferring from hotter end to colder end. That process is known as conduction. Tell me, what is conduction? Conduction is the process in which heat is transferring from hot end to cold end. So simple. What is conduction? Conduction is a heat transfer method. In that process, heat is transferring from hot end to cold end. When we heat any substances, we have to keep that materials over the flame. When we keep that materials over the flame, the heat from the flame transferred to that substance. So hotter end to colder end. That process is known as conduction. Conduction is a heat transfer method in which the heat is transferring from hotter end to colder end. Generally, in solids, heat is transferring from hotter end to colder end. Which means, which is the heat transfer method in solids? The heat transfer method in solid is conduction. In solid, the heat is transferring by the process conduction. Conduction is a process in which heat is transferred from the hotter end to colder end. That process is known as conduction and generally the heat transfer method in solid is conduction. Materials can be divided into two. Mainly, materials can be divided into two, conductors and insulators. What are conductors? Conductors are the substances which allow the heat to pass through them easily. What are conductors? Conductors are the substances which allow the heat to pass through them easily. Not only heat, conductors allow electricity also to pass through them. So what are conductors? Conductors are the materials which allow heat or electricity to pass through them easily. Examples: iron, copper, etc. This iron, copper, etc. are metals. So mainly metals are good conductors of heat and electricity. And the materials which do not allow heat or electricity to pass through them easily are insulators. What are insulators? Insulators are the substances which do not allow heat or electricity to pass through them easily, like rubber, plastic, wood, etc. So what are insulators? Insulators are the substances which do not allow heat or electricity to pass through them easily. Examples like plastic, rubber, wood, etc. And conductors are the substances which allow heat or electricity to pass through them easily. Examples: metals like iron, copper, etc. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the heat transfer in liquid. How the heat is transferring in liquid. For that, I'll show you another activity. For that, I need a glass of water. What I need? I need a glass of water. Look, what is in my hand? There is one glass of water in my hand. Just to think. Now I am heating this. It's not possible to heat here. So for that, you just assume I am heating this glass of water. What is the activity I am doing here? Which activity I am doing right now? I am heating the glass of water. I am heating the water inside the glass. Right? That means here what you can see here? Here you can see the flame. What you can see here? Flame. Right? When we heat the water, now we can discuss about the process. When we heat the water, the water near the flame, here will be the flame, no? So the water near the flame gets heat first. When we heat the water near the flame heats first, which means the water at the lower surface get hot first. Then hot water rises up. Hot water rises up means what? Let me ask you one thing. When we heat the water, definitely it forms fumes, right? How the fumes, spreads to the air, or how it transfer to the surroundings, whether it goes up or it comes down. Vapors always goes up, right? Steam always goes up. That means hot air. Steam is a form of hot air or hot water. So always hot water goes up. And what about rain? Why the rainwater comes down? Because cool form of water, cool air or cool water comes down. That is rain. Right? So which is the direction of hot water or hot air? The hot air or hot water always goes up. So that concept we have to use here. Right. So now we are heating the water. When we heat the water at the or water near the flames gets heated first. Then hot air goes up. Hot air goes up or hot water goes up. At the same time, cool water from the side move towards the flame. The cold water from the sides move towards the flame. This water also get heated or hot. Then hot water rises up. Then the remaining water from the sides move towards the flame, gets heated, goes up. This continues till all the water inside the glass get heated. That process of transferring heat is known as convection. So which is the heat transfer method in liquids? So here what is inside this glass? This glass contains water. So here the water is transferring through the liquid. So the heat transfer method in liquid is convection. Then what is convection? How to explain convection? When water heated, the water near the flames gets hot. Then hot water goes up. At the same time, cold water from the side move towards the flame. This water also gets hot. Hot water goes up. Balanced water from the sides move towards the flame, gets heat and goes up. This process continues. All the water or entire water inside the glass gets heated. This process of transferring heat is known as convection. When we heat the water near the flame gets heat or gets hot. Hot water goes up. Cold water from the side move towards the flame. That water also gets heat, goes up, and from the side cold water moves towards the flame. This continues till all the water inside the glass heated. This way of heat transfer method is convection. So which is the heat transfer method in liquid? It is convection. What about in solids? In solid it is conduction, but in case of liquid it is convection. So this mode of, or the hot water, the water near the flame gets heat, hot water goes up and the cold water from the sides move towards the flame. That water also gets hot and moves up. This continues till all the water inside the glass gets heated. This process is known as convection, and generally in liquid the heat transfer method is convection. Yes, now our discussion is about sea breeze and land breeze. First we can discuss what is sea breeze. During daytime sun is very hot, no? Due to this hotness of the sun, land gets heated faster than water. During the day, land gets heated faster than water. As you know, water is a cool substance, right? So, which will get heat first, land or water? Water already cool, right? So, the only chance is to get heat or hot is land. That means during the day, land gets heated faster than water. Okay, so if the land gets heated faster than the water, the air in the lands become hotter. The land is in the hot condition now, right? Which means the air inside the land also get hot. When the air become hotter, hot air goes up. That we discussed right now. What is the direction of hot air? Due to the hotness in the land, the air in the land become hotter. Hot air goes up. Now the hot air is moving up. See, when the hot air is moving up, just consider this area is empty now. The air is, it's move out, up. The hot air rises, right? The hot air rises means what you have to consider? This area. Now just, few minutes before, this area contains hot air. Now it's rises or hot air goes up. Now this area is empty. So at that time, at the same time, cool air from the, so what is the condition of the sea? Sea water is cool, right? So the cool air from the sea rushes towards the land. Why? Because that space is empty now. Hot air rises up. So this area is free now. So to that space, cool air from the sea rushes towards the land. To land. At the same time, hot air from the land move towards the sea. It's a cyclic process. Cool air to the land and hot air to the sea. So it's a cyclic process. From where the cool air comes? Cool air from the sea. So this is that direction. And hot air from the land. Right. So that is the arrows. Cool air from the sea to the land and hot air from the land to the sea. This cycle is known as sea breeze. See, breeze means just think cool wind. So from where the cool wind comes? Cool wind from the sea. The cool wind is coming from the sea. So that is sea breeze. Cool wind is coming from the sea. So the cool air comes from the sea. So it is a sea breeze. So how the process? During the day, land get heated faster than the water. If the land get heated faster than the water, the air in the land becomes hotter. When the air becomes hotter, then the next step, hot air goes up. When the hot air goes up, it makes its space empty. So to that empty space, cool air from the sea rushes towards the land to fill that space, to take its place. And at the same time, hot air from the land move towards the sea. Cool air is coming from the land. Cool air is coming from the sea to the land, and hot air goes to the sea. Right? Cool air is coming from the sea to land, and hot air goes to the sea. That process is known as sea breeze. So the cool air from the sea is known as sea breeze. Clear? Land becomes heated faster than the water. When the land becomes heated, air in the land becomes hotter. Hot air rises up, and when the hot air rises up, it makes its space empty. To that space, cool air from the sea rushes towards the land to take its place, and at the same time, hot air from the land moves towards the sea. That is sea breeze. Just you consider, cool air comes from the sea and hot air goes to the sea. Cool air comes from the sea to the land and hot air from the land goes to the sea. That is sea breeze. Clear? So from where the cool air comes? Cool air comes from the sea. At the same time, hot air from the land goes to the sea. That is sea breeze. So during the day, land gets hotter faster than the sea. The hot air from the land rises up. Cool air from the sea rushes towards the land to take its place, and the hot air from the land moves towards the sea to complete the cycle. This air from the sea is known as sea breeze. Okay. Then what about land breeze? Land breeze is just exactly opposite of the sea breeze. Sea breeze occurs during the daytime, but land breeze occurs during the night time. Night time just opposite of the sea breeze. During the daytime, land becomes hotter than the water. But during night time, water cools slowly than land. Water cools slowly than land means what? Land cools faster than sea. Correct. The water cools slowly than land means it indicates indirectly the land gets cool very fast. The land gets cool very fast. Now the hot air in land or sea. Now during the night time, land is cool and sea is hot. Land is cool and sea is hot. So hot air comes from the sea to the land. Hot air comes from the sea to the land. Okay, so the cool air from the sea, first stage or in first step, cool air from the land move towards the sea. The cool air from the land move towards the sea, and hot air from the sea rushes towards the land. Just opposite. In sea breeze, cool air from the sea to the land. But in land breeze, cool air from the land to sea. That is land breeze. Land breeze is just opposite to sea breeze. During the night, water cools slowly than the land, which means land gets cool fast. Hot air from the sea goes up. Hot air from the sea goes up. So when the hot air goes up, it makes that space empty. So at the same time, cool air from the land rushes towards the sea to take its space, right? So that process is land breeze. So what is land breeze? Land breeze occurs at night. Land breeze is just opposite of sea breeze. During the night, water cools slowly than land, which means land cools faster than water. Hot air from the water goes up, so cool air from the land rushes to the sea to take its place, and hot air from the sea move towards the land. This cyclic process is known as land breeze. So land breeze means cool air comes from the land. From where the cool air comes, so you can use that space for the process. Like in sea breeze, cool air is coming from the sea. In sea breeze, cool air is coming from the sea, and in land breeze, cool air is coming from the land. So in sea breeze, cool air from the sea to the land, and in land breeze, cool air from the land to the sea.
Sea breeze and land breeze. Sea breeze. During the day, the land gets heated faster than the sea. So the air above the land gets heated and become hotter and rise up. And cool air from the sea move towards the land. This is called sea breeze. Land breeze. During night, sea cools down slowly than the land. So the hot air above the sea rises up and cool air from the land move towards the sea. This is called land breeze.
Till now, we discussed about the heat transfer methods in solid and liquid. In solid it is conduction, and in liquid it is convection. Now we are going to discuss about which is the heat transfer method in gas. Let me ask you one thing. How the sun is very hot now? How the sun's rays reaching to the earth? Sun's rays through the air, it reaches to the earth. Right, so that is radiation, sun rays radiation. So the sun's rays or heat reaches to the earth's surface through the radiation. So the heat transfer method in gas is radiation. And you see, radiation does not require any medium. Conduction require solids, and convection only possible in liquids. Conduction only possible in solids, and convection only possible in liquids, but for the radiation it does not require any medium. It does not require any medium. Now we are going to discuss about the types of clothes in winter and summer seasons. Which are the types of the clothes we have to use in the winter season and in summer season. Right, in summer season it is very hot. Summer season is the hottest climate. When during the summer season, it is good to choose the light colored or white colored clothes. So which is the good type of clothes during the which is a comfortable clothes during summer season? During summer, it is comfortable to use white or light colored clothes. Why we have to select light or white colored clothes in summer? Because light color or white color reflects. Reflects means what? It returns back the heat. Now when we use the white color clothes, when the heat approaches to our body, this white color reflects back. It returns back. When it returns back, the heat, it does not enter to our body. So why white colored or light colored clothes should prefer in summer season? Because white color, only one answer there. White color or light color reflects the heat. White color or light color reflects heat. So when we use the white color, that white color or light color returns back or reflects back the heat. And during the winter season, it is comfortable to use the black colored clothes. Why? because black color clothes or black color is the absorber of heat. During winter, we need to get the hotness. We have to get the hot. Already the outside climate is cold, so all should wish to get the hotness to our body. So when we use the black color clothes, these black color clothes absorb or takes heat from the surroundings and it gives cool feeling to us. So black color absorbs heat and white color reflects heat. White color reflects heat and dark color or black color absorbs the heat. And which is why we have to use the woolen clothes during the rainy season, because woolen clothes absorbs heat and at the same time these woolen clothes traps it. It traps the hotness inside our body. It does not allow the hot to go out. Whatever hotness is there, it stay inside our body. So these woolen clothes, it contain thin layers are there inside the clothes. So these clothes helps to trap hotness inside our body. So when we use the woolen clothes, we will get the hotness. So the reason behind that, woolen clothes traps the heat, which means woolen clothes and dark colored clothes are suitable in winter season and light colored and white colored clothes in summer season. So it's time to conclude today's class. Watch the video carefully. We will meet you soon. Until then, it's bye. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day ahead.